Do you know that more than 54 million adults and 300,000 children in the United States have some form of arthritis? Arthritis is a common condition that affects millions of people around the world. It causes inflammation, pain, stiffness, and reduced mobility in the joints. There are many types of arthritis, such as osteoarthritis, rheumatoid arthritis, gout, and psoriatic arthritis, and each one has different causes and treatments. But no matter what type of arthritis you have, your diet can play a significant role in how you feel and how you manage your symptoms. Some foods can trigger or worsen inflammation, while others can help reduce it and protect your joints. So, what are the foods that you should avoid if you have arthritis? In this video, we will reveal the worst 10 foods you must avoid if you have arthritis, and what you can eat instead to reduce inflammation and pain. You'll be amazed by how much your symptoms can improve just by avoiding these foods. So, without further ado, let's get started. Number 1. Red meat. Red meat, especially processed meat like bacon, ham, sausages, and hot dogs, is high in saturated fat, cholesterol, and sodium, which can all increase inflammation and damage your blood vessels. Red meat also contains high levels of purines, which are substances that break down into uric acid in your body. Uric acid can accumulate in your joints and cause a type of arthritis called gout, which is characterized by sudden and severe attacks of pain, swelling, and inflammation. Other than that, processed meat also contains additives such as salt, nitrates, and nitrites, which can worsen inflammation and damage your cells. According to a study published in the journal Rheumatology, people who ate the most red meat and processed meat had a 51% higher risk of developing rheumatoid arthritis than those who ate the least. So if you love red meat, try to choose lean cuts and limit your intake to once or twice a week. Or better yet, replace it with healthier sources of protein, such as fish, poultry, beans, nuts, and seeds. Number 2. Sugar. Sugar is one of the worst culprits when it comes to inflammation. That's because it can spike your blood sugar levels, which in turn can stimulate the production of pro-inflammatory chemicals called cytokines. These chemicals can worsen inflammation and pain in your joints, as well as increase your risk of obesity, diabetes, and heart disease. Sugar can also interfere with the function of your immune system, making it harder for your body to fight off infections and heal wounds. So how much sugar should you consume if you have arthritis? The American Heart Association recommends no more than 6 teaspoons of added sugar per day for women and 9 teaspoons for men. That's about 25 to 36 grams of sugar, which is equivalent to 1 can of soda or 1 candy bar. Sugar is found in many foods and drinks, such as candy, cookies, cakes, pastries, soda, juice, and energy drinks. To reduce your sugar intake, try to avoid or limit these items and use natural sweeteners such as honey, maple syrup, or stevia in moderation. Number 3. Refined carbs. Refined carbohydrates, such as white bread, white rice, white pasta, and pastries, are low in fiber and nutrients and high in calories and sugar, so they can cause spikes and drops in your blood sugar levels, which can stimulate the release of inflammatory cytokines. Refined carbohydrates can also contribute to weight gain, which can put more stress on your joints and increase your risk of osteoarthritis. If you have arthritis, you should avoid or limit refined carbohydrates and choose whole grains such as whole wheat, brown rice, oats, and quinoa, which are high in fiber and antioxidants and can help regulate your blood sugar levels and reduce inflammation. Before we continue, if you have been enjoying the video so far, hit the like button and don't forget to subscribe and hit the bell icon so you don't miss more videos like this. Number 4. Salt. Salt is another ingredient that can aggravate your arthritis. Salt can increase inflammation and pain in your joints, as they can cause your body to retain water, which can make your joints more swollen and stiff. Salt and preservatives can also increase your blood pressure, which can put more stress on your heart and kidneys and increase your risk of stroke and heart attack. Salt and preservatives can also worsen the symptoms of some types of arthritis, such as rheumatoid arthritis and gout, as they can affect the balance of fluids and electrolytes in your body and trigger an immune response. To avoid the negative effects of salt and preservatives, you should limit your intake to no more than 2,300 milligrams of sodium per day, according to the American Heart Association. That's about 1 teaspoon of salt, which is equivalent to the amount of sodium in 6 slices of bread. To reduce your sodium intake, you can cook your own meals from fresh ingredients and use herbs and spices, such as garlic, onion, ginger, turmeric, rosemary, and basil, to add flavor and anti-inflammatory benefits to your dishes. Number 5. Nightshade vegetables. Nightshade vegetables, such as tomatoes, potatoes, eggplant, and peppers, are rich in nutrients and antioxidants, but they can also cause problems for some people with arthritis. This is because nightshade vegetables contain a group of chemicals called alkaloids, which can affect the nerve function and muscle contraction and trigger an immune response. Nightshade vegetables can also worsen the symptoms of some types of arthritis, such as rheumatoid arthritis and psoriatic arthritis. To avoid the negative effects of nightshade vegetables, you can try eliminating them from your diet for a few weeks and see if your symptoms improve. You can also replace them with other vegetables, such as carrots, beets, squash, zucchini, spinach, lettuce, cabbage, and cauliflower, which are low in alkaloids and high in antioxidants. Number 6. Dairy. Dairy products such as milk, cheese, yogurt, and butter are often considered as a healthy source of calcium, protein, and other nutrients. However, they can be problematic for some people with arthritis. One reason to avoid dairy products for people with arthritis is that they may increase inflammation in the body. According to a study published in the Journal of Nutrition in 2015, found that eating dairy foods increased low-grade inflammation in a small sample of German adults. Another study of more than 40,000 people with osteoarthritis found that those who ate more dairy products were more likely to need hip replacement surgery. These findings suggest that dairy products may worsen the symptoms and outcomes of arthritis by triggering inflammatory responses, so you may want to avoid or limit it in your diet. You can also try dairy alternatives, such as almond, soy, oat, or coconut milk, cheese, and yogurt, which are often fortified with calcium and vitamin D. Number 7. Alcohol. Alcohol can have both positive and negative effects on your health, depending on how much and how often you drink. In moderation, alcohol can lower inflammation, reduce stress, and protect your heart. But in excess, alcohol can increase inflammation, damage your liver, interfere with your medications, and cause dehydration, which can all worsen your arthritis. Alcohol can also trigger gout attacks, as it is high in purine and can raise your uric acid levels. If you drink alcohol, try to limit your intake to no more than 1 drink per day for women and 2 drinks per day for men. Or better yet, avoid alcohol altogether and drink water, tea, or juice instead. Number 8. Gluten. Gluten is a protein found in wheat, barley, rye, and triticale, and it can cause inflammation and pain in some people who are sensitive or intolerant to it. One reason to avoid gluten is that it can trigger or worsen celiac disease, which is an autoimmune disorder that damages the small intestine and affects its ability to absorb nutrients. People with celiac disease are also more likely to develop other autoimmune diseases, such as rheumatoid arthritis. Therefore, avoiding gluten is essential for people with celiac disease to prevent further complications and reduce arthritis symptoms. Another reason to avoid gluten is that it can increase the levels of uric acid in the blood, which can cause gout attacks. So, if you suspect you have a problem with gluten, you may want to eliminate it from your diet for a few weeks and see if you notice any improvement. You can also try gluten-free alternatives, such as rice, quinoa, buckwheat, corn, or gluten-free bread and pasta. Number 9. Fried foods. Fried foods are popular and tasty, but they may not be the best choice for people who have arthritis. One reason to avoid fried foods is that they are often cooked in oils that are high in saturated fat and omega-6 fatty acids. Both have been associated with increased inflammation and an increase in arthritis symptoms. Fried foods also often have other ingredients such as breading, salt, and added sugar that can trigger inflammation. Fried foods can also produce harmful substances, such as trans fats and advanced glycation end products, which can damage your cells and tissues and worsen your arthritis. Other than that, fried foods can also lead to weight gain, which can put extra stress on your joints and worsen your symptoms. So try to avoid or limit fried foods and opt for healthier cooking methods such as baking, roasting, grilling, or steaming. Number 10. Processed foods. Processed foods such as canned foods, frozen meals, snacks, and fast food are often loaded with salt, sugar, fat, additives, and preservatives, which can all increase inflammation and harm your joints. Studies have shown that diets rich in processed and red meats, which contain high levels of omega-6 fatty acids, are associated with increased levels of inflammatory markers such as interleukin-6, C-reactive protein, and homocysteine. These markers are linked to the inflammation that characterizes arthritis. Also, the imbalance between omega-6 and omega-3 fatty acids, often due to a high intake of processed foods, can also contribute to inflammation, as omega-6 are pro-inflammatory while omega-3s have anti-inflammatory effects. So try to avoid or limit processed foods and eat more fresh, whole, and natural foods such as fruits, vegetables, nuts, seeds, legumes, and lean protein, which are anti-inflammatory and good for your joints. So these were the worst 10 foods you must avoid if you have arthritis. By eliminating or limiting these foods from your diet, you can reduce inflammation, pain, and swelling, and improve your joint function and quality of life. Of course, diet is not the only factor that affects your arthritis. You also need to exercise regularly, manage your stress, get enough sleep, and follow your doctor's advice and treatment plan. But by making these simple changes to your diet, you can make a big difference in how you feel and how you cope with your arthritis. Now, we want to hear from you. Do you eat some of these foods regularly? Do they worsen your symptoms? Share with us your experiences and opinions in the comments below. We love to hear them. Thanks for watching.